Joining me now is Democrat strategist Michael Starr Hopkins and retired Navy SEAL, author of Fast and Fearless, How to Lead Like a Navy SEAL, Ed Heiner. Michael, thank you for being here. And Ed, thank you so much for being here and thank you for your service. Now, Ed, let's start with you.
Yeah.
You, I believe, deployed 9 times. You've been to 5 different countries during those deployments. And I just want to get your reaction to this. I mean, this was a new policy that came about under the Obama administration. It had never been done in U.S. history before. So a lot of people see this as some sort of social experiment that the president pushed onto the military.
Well, that's right. Well, first, I think we need to get on the same sheet of music. The military is not a right. It's a privilege and a responsibility. Every single day in this country, we discriminate against people coming into the military. Because the military, like the president said in his tweet, is about mission focus. That's it. If you're too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, or have a pre-existing condition, you don't get into the military. So, you know, I think this is a cherry-picking issue that the President Obama did on his way out the door, and it is a social experiment. I think we didn't do our homework on this topic, right? I mean, so I think, you know, there's a lot of things we do to discriminate against people in the military joining, but that's okay. I mean, that's what we do. It's not, you know, we fight for democracy. We don't work for one, and the military service is a privilege and a responsibility, not a right.
Yeah, it definitely is a privilege and a responsibility, a big one. Michael, your thoughts on this? Do the transgender men and women that are suing the Trump administration, do they have a case?
Absolutely. The same argument being used against transgender Americans was used against African Americans integrating the military, and it was used against women integrating the militaries too. This isn't really about whether or not transgender people can serve in the military. This is a distraction by the Trump administration away from the problems that it's currently facing in Washington. And it's sad because there are transgender military individuals right now serving in the military who have done so proudly and bravely. And we should be respecting them and honoring them, not using them as a political pawn in some type of chess game.
And Michael, you're aware that this is a gender dysphoria. I mean, this is classified as somewhat of a mental illness, and people are denied from the military, people that have acne, people that have flat feet. So when the military denies these people, somebody with a flat foot, is that discriminatory as well?
That's because of a medical condition. The American Psychiatric Foundation has not labeled being transgender as a psychiatric condition, and in fact,
it is
transgender
a pre-existing
individuals,
condition, Michael. Everybody knows that. I mean, you can beat around the point all you want, but the fact is,
I can actually say that the law protects transgender Americans as a protected class, as they should.
How about people that are overweight, Michael?
That labels someone that's transgender.
No, I'd like to hear about it.
I'm not going to compare transgender people to overweight or to acne.
There are multiple millions of people in this country that are overweight, but they can actually do the physical standards of military service, but we don't allow them in. So you're fighting an uphill battle. And to be honest with you, your opinion is interesting and amusing, but it's irrelevant in this. This is when you're talking about
I can respect
military
your service
mission,
and still say that you're wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying
exactly
your opinion. Well, it's just an opinion. You're very uninformed. You've never been in military. You've never trained people for combat. It's a very difficult environment that you're in, and it's not a place for experimentation.
Well, and I think Ed makes a great point here, and a lot of the military men and women that I've had conversations with, they say that this is a distraction. I mean, we don't understand the things that they go through. I mean, I spent a lot of time doing reporting with the military and all the different branches, and, you know, I only saw part of what they do, but I couldn't imagine actually being out on the battlefield. And I think that that's what Ed is trying to describe to us. It's a situation that regular Americans like you and I, where we sit in offices all day, we just can't understand what exactly they're going through. So Ed, explain the situation and why this is a distraction and why that would make your job more difficult.
Well, every issue that's injected into the military becomes a distraction. It needs to be tested before it comes in. We do that with every piece of equipment before we bring it into the military. Look, transgender people, if you look at the studies, almost half of them have admitted to trying to kill themselves, okay? Let's turn up some stress of combat. Let's turn up some stress of sleep deprivation, throw in an automatic machine gun and some mortar fire, and let's see what happens. No, that's not the place to test it, Michael. I understand. One of my friends is a good friend of mine, 20 years service. She's on my book. I'm saying that transgenders self-claim that they tried to kill themselves.
I mean, people coming back from war have PTSD, and if the rates of suicide are high too. That's not.
right.
I mean, that's not a functional equivalent.
But
What I'm
that's not a pre-existing condition. That's a condition you receive under combat conditions.
Should not be something that restricts you.
Well, that's your opinion, and I appreciate that you have one, but it's irrelevant. It's not relevant to the fight. Does it support the mission? Is it cost efficient? Is it cost efficient to have a transgender come in and have a sexual reassignment surgery?
Let me jump in here really quick.
Insanity.
Is it legal?
Let me jump in here really quick. Ed.
That's a good point. Is it legal? I don't know. Or do we change the law? And I'm not discriminating against transgender. Like in my book, well, a friend of mine, 20-year Navy SEAL, now Christine Beck, endorsed me. I endorse her.
Absolutely.
But I disagree with her completely. That it's not about our own personal beliefs. It's about the mission. It's about killing people and getting a mission done that America wants us to do. It's simple. Maybe it is illegal to do these things, but we need to start with other laws. Overweight people, people with disabilities. It's not an equal rights opportunity employment.
Great points, Ed. I just want to jump in and point something out here. Go ahead, Michael.
If someone's transgender and overweight, if someone's transgender and overweight, then yeah, that's something that we can restrict them from serving. If someone's transgender and has another complication, a heart condition, something that stops them from serving. I'm using your example. You said if someone's overweight, they can't serve.
That's right.
So
there's millions of them. They can do the physical standards and they can do the mental standards. They just can't show up to work because they can't get in.
Okay, well, we got to run here, but I just wanted to make one last point is, I do think it's an unfortunate situation that these people that are in the military, that are, transgender men and women, that they're in this situation now that they could be dismissed. They shouldn't have been admitted into the military in the first place. And again, this is under the Obama administration who allowed it, and we shouldn't be even discussing this today. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.